If you learn that you're the target of a criminal investigation, it's super important for you to educate yourself. And I know there's a lot of times that you might be sitting at the internet and looking at all types of consultants and so on and so to speak who fancy themselves being experts at something or other. The reality is you have to be the CEO of your life. You've got to figure out how do you architect a response if, God forbid, you find yourself facing one of these sample target letters. This is right off of the criminal justice website. And that's what we offer here at Prison Professors, where everything is free. You can simply learn about what is the purpose of a target letter and what should you know is going on. So I prepared this little simple video with the idea that you should start learning to prepare yourself for the journey ahead. Because if you've been targeted, that means that prosecutors believe you have committed a crime. They haven't charged you yet, but they would not be sending you a target letter unless they anticipate charging you with criminal activity, at least not in the federal system. If you're in the federal system and you receive a target letter, there's a very good chance that at some point you are going to be facing a sentencing hearing. And that's why it's super important to understand everything possible. Because somebody who receives that target letter, that doesn't mean they've been charged. It just means that a charge is very likely to be forthcoming. Now, too many people get pretty emotional and excited and they think they're going to talk their way through it. But the first thing that you should be thinking about is the importance of staying calm. If you get one of these target letters, you absolutely want to be really calm and try and collect all of your critical thinking skills, all of your wisdom, all of your intelligence, and recognize, hey, I can't ignore this letter, but it's not in my best interest to contact the agent. Okay, the agent has received a lot of training in getting you to say something that will build a case against you. So you should never speak with law enforcement without having a defense attorney present. You may think you can talk your way out of this, but by the time an agent has become aware of you and connects with you, if an investigation is starting, that agent and a team of agents have already spent a considerable amount of time gathering evidence that they think they can use against you, and they can ask you questions that will result in that could potentially result in a response that makes things much harder for you. That's why you should never discuss the case with anybody other than an experienced defense attorney. And that's not always easy to find, right? Somebody wants to call, oh, my brother's married to an attorney, or my wife has a neighbor whose cousin has a son who's an attorney. That's not the strategy that you want to use. You want to really be thinking about how can you find the most experienced defense attorney to help you through this very difficult challenge. And if you don't have money to hire an attorney and you get a target letter, you can reach out to the federal defender in your area and fill out a financial affidavit stating that you don't have the financial resources to hire counsel, and they can put forward a motion to start representing you and advising you, at least through these preliminary stages. So it's just super important to move forward with an experienced criminal defense attorney, and preferably one that is in the right jurisdiction. Because, I spoke with a guy recently who had been charged in the state of Arkansas, but he was on a business trip in Michigan when he learned about this criminal charge. And he got so panicked and so, out of sorts that he just went to a defense attorney's office in Michigan and explained to him the problems. The guy had wherewithal to hire counsel, and the guy in Michigan made a pitch, and the guy hired that guy there in Michigan on the spot, and then he had to pay for him to visit him in Arkansas and handle the case in Arkansas, which certainly added to the costs. But it also left the person a little bit vulnerable because that guy did not have experience in the jurisdiction where he was charged. And a series of horrible events took place for him that resulted in a sentence that is much longer than he anticipated. So don't only look for a defense attorney that is experienced, but look for one that has knowledge about the jurisdiction where you are. Now, I'd also like to recommend some things that you should not do if you receive a target letter. do not destroy any evidence. Don't try to eliminate emails or text messages or anything along those lines, because that can result in another criminal charge called obstruction of justice. And you don't want that. So you want to make sure that you, first of all, hire counsel, and you recognize there's a very good chance that a sentencing hearing is going to follow. So you want to start taking steps that can help you prepare for the possibility of sentencing. And even if you're doing it privately, start thinking about a mitigation strategy. Now, we offer everything on our website for free, and you could spend as much time as you want going through all of our courses. You could use our chat bot, which is right at the bottom of our website at Prison Professors. We've invested quite a bit of money to build that chat bot to answer questions. It's 100% free. I know that some people don't want free. They want somebody to kind of guide them. And unfortunately, I am not the person to be guiding anyone. My focus is on changing the entire prison system and working to create more pathways for people to earn freedom. But I also know that there are a lot of charlatans out there that masquerade as prison consultants. And I just have a lot of confidence in you, that you can figure out what you need. And you may not ever need a prison consultant. You will need a lawyer, but you may not need a prison consultant. But if you do feel the need that you want to talk to somebody, there's only one person I recommend. You're never going to be able to hire me. My focus is not on doing one-on-one work with somebody, but my sponsor and my good friend is Justin Paperny, the founder of White Collar Advice. He's been sponsoring Prison Professors for many years, and he hosts webinars for members of our community and employs a team of people that do work one-on-one. And so if you need something, I would encourage you visit White Collar Advice, because I will never be available. But what I will do is provide a lot of free information here on this website, because everything is free at Prison Professors. We really want you to start working today to sow seeds for the best possible outcome in your life. So if you get a target letter, just remember those key points. Don't ignore the letter. Don't contact the agent. Don't freak out and go hire some defense attorney that doesn't have experience in your case or doesn't know you. Don't destroy any documents, emails, texts, or digital things, because you don't want to face obstruction of justice charges. And just make sure that you are architecting a plan that will help you get the best possible outcome at the soonest possible time. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and I believe in you.